Alrighty, let's see what's new in the MMA world. Let's see. Gilbert Burns has died. Rest in peace, Gilbert. Michael Morales is a future champ in the making, and he's a little zesty, so naturally that makes the MMA fans uncomfortable for some reason. Let's see. Blanchfield versus Barber is headlining an Apex card next week. Ain't no one watching that shit. Oh, what's this? Topuria versus Oliveira for the vacant lightweight strap, which means we're likely getting Makhachev versus JDM. Say it ain't so. And what's this? DDP versus Chimaev? Holy Stromboli. The Christmas creature came early this year, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you were all good noodles for your sake. All right, is that all we got? Oh no, hold on. Wait a second. We got some Jon Jones news. Oh boy, I hope it's a good scoop. Oh, for the love of God. Okay.
You said I could do it.
Surprise, surprise, everyone. It turns out that the epic badass Jon Jones is so horrified at the idea of risking his legacy in a bout against his interim champ that he literally does not care if Dana strips him. Every time we get some news story pertaining to basically anything to do with Jon Jones or the heavyweight division, it is tremendously depressing. It is never good news. It's like tuning in repeatedly to information regarding the LA fires a few months ago. This just in, local man whose house was burned down to ashes and his dog is missing still has a burned down house and still can't find his dog. Like, great. Lovely to hear that. But seriously though, for the sake of Tom Aspinall and the health of the heavyweight division at large, and the starved fans who were dying for something, anything interesting to happen, rip that belt out of Jones' hands and promote Aspinall to undisputed. This shit is just getting ridiculous. Jon Jones is a fake champ. Pry his stingy fingers off of that gold and give it to the real deal over here. I hope Dana White feels the weight of how embarrassing his Jones glazing campaign of last year truly was at this point. This man is so checked out mentally and could give an iota of a shit about popularizing his fighters, doing his job as a promoter and actually, you know, promoting them to the public. And at some points actually goes out of his way to make things less fun for the fans. Anyone remember when he shut down the press conference for Chimaev versus Diaz because those two plus Kevin Holland and their respective entourages were all getting into it backstage?
Yeah, this ain't gonna happen. I apologize, everybody. I am in very weird waters here. This has never happened in the history of this company. So, trust me when I tell you this is the right decision not to do this press conference right now. And,
Gee, that could have been a really fiery, interesting presser with some actual heat coming from multiple directions. Shame we didn't see that. How about when Holland and Masvidal started chirping at each other?
It's just some dick riding, cloud chasing bitch, you know, so ain't nothing to talk about.
Nah, that's not what you were saying yesterday, bro. Watch your fucking mouth.
Kevin, I'm curious, what is the issue there?
I called him baby girl and he got mad.
Guys, come on, these two aren't even fighting. Knock it off.
All right, okay.
Knock it off? No, you big golem. We want them to knock it on. In the desperate pursuit of making the UFC as professional as possible, feels like we've taken a lot of the edge off of it. Feels more and more like normal SpongeBob these days. Just smooth and by the book and inoffensive and boring.
The greatest fighter to ever live, ever, is fucking Jon Jones.
So yeah, he has no time for any of that silly business and will actively shut down attempts at drumming up fan interest. When it came time to try and sell the Jones versus Miocic fight for the second time, Dana made it his mission to go on a podcast tour and guzzle Jones's nutsack to the high heavens.
He got injured.
But if you don't...
If you were coming into a fight and you fucking got hurt, that means you're not the pound for pound best fighter in the world anymore? How does that even make sense? It doesn't make sense.
When he fights,
right? If he was sitting out and fucking getting arrested and running around or whatever, and you're like, you know, well, Jon Jones is inactive, I'd say, maybe you're right. But as an educated adult who knows the fight business. You cannot deny that while Jon Jones is active, he is the greatest fighter in the world.
Did I not say that?
Yes, I don't know what you're arguing about here. I don't even know how we're in this conversation. Where are the helicopters when you need them?
Because you're...
It's like Jon was sitting in the next room of each media appearance with a shotgun in his lap, was ready to kick the door down and blast him in the face if he didn't act like Jones was the best thing since canned bread. Sidebar, anyone who didn't watch SpongeBob is going to find these references psychotic. I apologize. But seriously though, not only would he glaze Jones nonstop, he would actively put down his more active champs actually taking risks in the process. Whether it be continually expecting Aspinall to earn his fight with Jones, like he's some new up-and-comer, or also when the topic of anyone overtaking Jones in the pound-for-pound list came up. Islam Makhachev is out here making history, probably the lightweight GOAT at this point, racking up defenses, fighting relatively often. Not only would Dana put him down to big up Jones, there was even one press conference where he forgot his name.
You know, when you talk about legacy, if Volkanovski could pull this off, it's obviously massive. And if yeah, can pull it off, it's, you know, he's on his way to building an incredible legacy.
Don't know if that was intentional or unintentional, but not a great look. You know who Islam Makhachev is. Dana. Come on, bro. So, okay then, Dana White, Shmana Schmite. How do you feel after all of that? How does it feel building him up on his way to beating up a senior citizen version of Miocic now that we're 6 months removed from that fight, seemingly no closer to a unification bout? In fact, we might actually be farther away. Here was Jones in his Octagon interview after that fight.
As far as my future in the Octagon, I decided that maybe I will not retire, and that I have some conversations to have with Dana and Hunter, and we have some negotiating to do. And if everything goes right, maybe we'll give you guys what you want to see.
Okay, now here's what he has to say more recently.
My man, I'm excited to see you again.
But you're still active. 10 years left. But you're still active.
He said you got 10 years left, but you're still active.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm done.
He got a little girl, he was like, oh.
Ah, great. Excellent. What an exciting time to be a UFC fan. What's especially grating about this is it would be so goddamn easy to promote Tom Aspinall if they actually cared to try. This man is a freak of nature. We've seen plenty of enormous power punching monsters at heavyweight over the years. We have never seen one move like a middleweight, and with the exception of one fight and literally every single one of his wins in the first round, like in a couple minutes. I truly believe in my bone marrow that Aspinall will be champ for a very long time and could very well become the heavyweight GOAT in a few years. He's not that far. It's just annoying that he's being stalled out so Jones can hog the belt without actually doing anything with it. Look, just pay Jones his fuck you money he was asking for, please. Just the once. Come on. Or if it's clear that he's just going the Tyson Fury route and pricing himself out and making negotiations as obnoxious as possible, then strip him. Enough hokery pokery. I think I speak for a lot of UFC fans when I say at this point, I don't even really want the fight anymore. I know it's not going to happen, so can we please stop being blue-balled? I feel the same way about it that I do about the prospect of Conor McGregor ever setting foot back in the cage again. The idea of that has just gotten so boring and played out that I well and truly don't care. Let's just let the division move on, please. I'd much rather get an undisputed Tom Aspinall take on Cyril Gane or a rematch with Volkov. Then we can get fights like Almeida or the surging Talson Teixeira in the future. There are things you can do with him that are exciting that we're just not getting because Jon Jones is hogging shit. He's just the equivalent of everyone being ready, packed up to go on a road trip, but being held up by one guy taking an agonizingly lengthy dump on the toilet. Shit or get off the pot.